Would love now to introduce Julie Curtis. It's perfect. We just had a last participant enter. So I would love to welcome Julie Curtis now to talk about Democratic Committee and all the incredible work that she does.
Oh, I think we need to. Okay. I am going to speak to people about the Democratic State Committee because it came to my attention that some people have no idea what the state committee does. You know, they know that we go to meetings, but they don't know, other than that, what we do. So I want to just give you a brief overview. The Democratic State Committee is, in fact, the governing body composed of 400 Democrats from Massachusetts' 40 senatorial districts. Now, our district is the 2nd Essex. It's comprised of Beverly, Danvers, Peabody, Salem, and Topsfield, and it's Joan Lovely's district. It has caucus representatives, add-on members, and parties officials. The state committee is instrumental in electing Democrats from the State House to the White House and help determine the direction of our party. It is the duty of the state committee to maintain regular communications with and provide training, information, and other services to the town and ward and city committees, publicly support the party's nominee, and shall not publicly support any opponent. We're expected to meet at least twice a year with members of the town ward and city committees in the district. And again, we are the 2nd Essex. In preparation of the caucuses, the state committee assists in caucuses to make sure that they run smoothly and to be ready to assist if needed. To coordinate and conduct the party's state campaigns, filling vacancies in nominations for statewide and congressional offices, formulating and disseminating statements at party policies, and raising and distributing monies needed by the successful operation of the state committee. Every state committee members assigned to subcommittees. And in fact, my committees are campaign services, resolutions, resource development, and means outreach. Each senatorial district is represented on the state committee as follows: 1 male, 1 female, and they're elected by the ballot. Okay, the ballot it's a 4-year term, and it's part of the presidential primary. And in our district, I'm the female, and Scott Spencer from Beverly is the male. There's also 1 male, 1 female that are elected at caucuses. And again, there are 4-year terms. And these 2 are Arthur Powell, the male, and the female is Marilyn Hazel. And I notice that Marilyn is on this meeting. Okay, we also have what they call add-on members. And these are people that after the initial election, there are several categories that people can run for. And we, in fact, are very lucky in this district. We have 3 people that are add-ons. We have Tyler Carlton that is an add-on because of youth. We have Marsha Finkelstein add-on because of gender balance. And Christine Tron add-on is the veterans. If you have any questions, I welcome them. If Marilyn is on this, if she wants to add anything, she can. So I leave it up to if anybody has any questions.
So could any of us have any influence on the Ethics and Transparency Committee? Because I've got that right in front of me.
What we can
And so-
do is if somebody wants to, I certainly will have no trouble speaking to Gus Bickford, who's the chairperson.
So none of us can be on it. We have to be elected, and then those people are on the different committees.
But
Okay,
there are subcommittees that you can be on that you don't have to be elected.
and then I'm in the Progressive Democrats, and they're talking about at the convention in September, like going to some meetings and asking for changes about the transparency issue. So they're exploring doing that. And my question is, aren't we a little late to the party if the Mass Dem Committee on Ethics has already written a platform? How likely are they to change it if
This is a platform convention. There is a meeting. Let me grab my calendar.
I think I've got a link to it. I think I've got a link to it.
You've got a link
I
telling,
think I've got a link. I just not familiar with the process. So
well,
any light you can, shed.
those meetings are open meetings.
Okay, I'll be at one of them. Yeah,
You know, they
Good.
want the input.
great.
Do people need the,
So we can testify about the transparency that we'd like to see.
when you testify, it's about the platform.
Great. And do they change it right there and then during the,
But
or do they take it
write-
under consideration and then change it over the next 4 years?
What they do is, this meeting is to get input on, what should be in the platform.
Good, good. Because yeah, I've got the transparency, ethics and transparency, and it's a very, very measured, very carefully stated bunch of statements that don't say things like don't run the legislature like the mafia. Like I would say, it's very couched in nice terms that everyone would be happy with to listen to. So, but I'll be testifying. So thank you for educating me about that, because I was at a convention, but it wasn't a platform convention. So I'm learning.
Okay, but do you have the date of the hearing?
All I know is September 25th is the convention.
No, that's,
No,
The dates for the platform
oh
meeting,
no, they're in August. The hearings are in August, I guess.
if you go to massdems.org, it will have the list and
Yeah.
about all of them.
Okay, I've got that link up, so I'll look it up. I'll educate myself.
We have
Thank you.
different, each convention, there's a cycle, and this cycle is the platform convention. The following
Gotcha.
year, it will be nomination of constitutional officers and governors and so on. Then we have
Okay.
convention. So then there's a regular cycle to these every 4 years.
I think that's very helpful if you guys can educate us on what's going on, because I've been in the Democratic City Committee since 2017, and there's still things I don't know. So
okay, listen,
Very-
the meeting is Wednesday, August 11th.
Wednesday, August 11th.
Yes.
All right. Good.
I encourage everybody who wants to have any say at all, that you need to be on this meeting and you need to say what you feel. Because if you don't, then, we don't know.
Yeah.
And this
Yeah.
is- So does everybody hear this? It is Wednesday, August 11th at 6:30. And it is by Zoom. And as Marilyn says, if you go to the Mass Dems website, it will tell you how to log in and everything. It'll give you the information that you need.
I'll poke around for it and put it in the chat when I find it.
Okay.
Thank you, Julie.
No, thank you. Is there
Plus,
anything?
do you have to pre-register any information, that you might find, Liz or Julie, if you have to pre-register, or they just have the link there available with any kind of passcode?
I think, don't they have to pre-register, Marilyn?
I think so, yes.
Yes. But again, if you go to the Mass Dems website, it'll tell you how to do it.
Julie, may I congratulate you on your presentation to them? I didn't know you were going to do that. And I'm so glad that you did. We maybe should consider doing it for our other committees that you and I represent. I have seen, I'm a member of the state committee now. I'll be going pretty soon. I'll be on my 20th year. And I have to say, the state committee has come a long way in reaching out to local committees. Almost 20 years ago, I was chair, well, I've been chair of the Danvers Town Committee forever. But I can remember when we had absolutely no connection to the state committee. I hardly ever heard from them. And it was Arthur Powell who came to me and asked if I was interested in getting on the state committee, which I subsequently did do. That was the first I even knew it existed. I had been chair for years. And I have to say, I'm very proud of my fellow state committee members, particularly in this district and the add-ons around here, because we have taken the committee has come a long way in the state committee has come a long way in interacting with our local committees. And please do feel free to take advantage of any information that any of us can give to you. And Julie and I certainly do try to be at as many meetings as possible. And I go way back to when a man named Harvey was the head of the Salem, and I've gone through many chairs here. So and seen a great turnaround, and I've seen the Salem committee become much more active. I remember the days when they would meet like once a year, just for the caucus. So we've come a long way, and I just want to commend all of you for your activism, and Julie for yours too. Thank you.
Well, thank you. You taught me well. Is John Mahoney on this meeting?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not today.
But people are aware of what the Mass Dems is calling the Blueprint 22. So I don't really need to talk about it then.
Oh, please talk about it.
Yeah.
Please talk about it, because
Well,
I'm sure there are some people not on camera who don't know what it is, and thus you
I
can't
went
see
to the
shaking.
first training. I went to the first training, and it just seemed kind of random. So, and they're hounding me to do it. And yeah, so I would love to hear more about it.
I would speak to John Mahoney because he's been going to the meetings.
He normally does, but he's on vacation today.
You know, basically it's the blueprint. It's called Blueprint 22. And it's guided by town and ward captains, grassroots organizations will participate in 5 relational organizing and community building projects, 1 for each quarter leading up to the 2022 election. Each quarterly project will support community partners in the groundwork that they're doing on the issues that matter the most. Monthly trainings will supplement each project, helping organizers build and expand their personal volunteer corps. This is very important. If every grassroots organizer recruits and maintains and works at 25 volunteers, Democrats will have a coalition of 50,000 volunteers ready to elect a candidate across the ballot in 2022.
And this can include not only in our state, but in other states, which I think is so very important this coming election.
So, I mean, I'd like to know what the duties are of the person who's the captain or whatever. They're captain be like captain the whole city or something. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do that. And the first training was all about use your email lists, like use your PTO emails, use your contacts. It's all person to person. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of know that already. And there was an hour of that. And then I was driving in the Shenandoah Valley. I was on a road trip and I lost signal after 45 minutes. I mean, I'll go to the second one to see what's happening, but it's a little scary. Like, I don't want to take on like organizing the whole city of Salem to get volunteers, because I could only get like 1 or 2 people to meet with Paul Tucker about transparency for the second meeting. You know, it was me and Jim and Paul about transparency on our
I
last
was
meeting.
there.
Oh, Chris, I'm sorry, I forgot you. Yeah, so 3 of us.
But then
Oh, he has been working on this.
find people on your own. It's an exponential growth is what they're looking for.
Well, I'm willing to do the second training, but I don't know if I'm signing up to be like
Liz,
in charge of a lot.
I can
don't-
say,
I don't even know when
John-
the second meeting is, but I don't know.
Okay,
John's been taking a very active presence in being the captain for Salem, so I don't feel like you would need,
Good,
feel a
good,
significant burden
good
to
for
be
him.
the captain there. He's been very involved with the blueprint. for
Good, because
20
I thought
years,
he was
so-
trying to get me to, and I'd rather he do it. I'm happy to help and do my grassroots, talking to people face to face, and I can do that much easier now that there's less COVID. So, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm willing to do the second meeting. I kind of hung up on a nice gal who called me and was bugging me about doing it, but
okay,
I'll be nice. I'll try to find out when the second meeting is. Now I feel guilty. I'm glad John's doing it, because he's good. He sends out emails, do the second training. So more power to him.
Jim just posted that the platform meeting for our district is a week earlier on August 4th at 6:30, just so everybody is aware.
come up with that.
Jim, where'd you find that?
At that second link that Liz put in, you see the different platform hearings.
Well, let me write that on my calendar, because that's not what they told me.
Yeah, CD2. Right.
All right, so you're saying it's August 4th at 6:30?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's Site is saying it.
Yeah, for CD2 and CD3.
Mhm.
Okay, no, hold on, folks. CD, I thought was congressional district.
Right.
Okay,
We're
we're
CD2.
not 2 or 3.
Oh, right, we're CD6. I'm sorry.
Okay,
So
the
what
11th.
date is CD6?
so
11.
we were correct the first time.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Julie.
No, listen, you
Jim
scared me.
causing a panic.
Yeah, I don't know. CD2, why it's in my head. We're
Well,
CD6.
What they gave me was Wednesday, the 11th.
You're right.
We're thinking of the
absolutely
second
right.
Essex.
Maybe that's it.
And you
That
don't
might be it.
need to apologize. You just aged me about 20 years.
That speaks to like us. That just speaks to, you know, we're a little, you know, I'm looking at CD and going, what the heck is that? Is that something I used to put in my computer? And you guys are steeped in it who are in the Mass Dem
Yeah, it's
committee. And
congressional
you
district.
know congressional district, and everyone else like me, and I think I know some things about politics, but I go on there and I'm like, what's CD? You know, so we, you know, you have to dumb down that the website so people can find things.
That confuses me. So I will admit too, that confuses me sometimes, the difference between like, okay, wait, am I talking about Congressional District 6 or
Yeah.
the second Essex district or like whatever district we are that Paul technically is representing? It's so many, there's so many different numbers and delineations that I feel like for the common folk like us, it can sometimes be really confusing.
Yeah, and then the national one is Seth Moulton's is seventh, right? So yeah, you got numbers.
No, he's just 6.
He's 6.
Oh, it's a 6.
He's 6.
Oh, then Tucker's 7th.
Tucker is 7th.
That's where
That's
we
the one.
go. That's where I'm always going. 6, 7, 6, 7. Federal Democrat, yeah, federal state. So that's good. I'll be there on the 11th. Thank you.
That might be a good suggestion for the website, to make sure they spell out, you know, what everything means and everything, not assume that everybody's that's hopping on there trying to learn, knows all the acronyms and, and everything. Yeah, because it takes a long time to learn and it can be very confusing.
I'll be glad to, I'll be glad to call Gus Bigford and tell him that. Jeremy, I'll call Jeremy tomorrow.
Any other questions for Julie related to the mass stems or anything?
Just don't age me anymore.
We'll try really hard not to. All right, well, I will close this portion of the meeting.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Julie, for joining us. It was
Thank
very
you.
informative.
Thank
And
you, Julie.
Thank you.
I'm gonna see you tomorrow, Chris,
what's tomorrow?
picking up some postcards.
Oh, right. I forgot that I was doing that already. I do that so frequently, it just kind of factors into the back of my head of, oh, there'll be postcards there. I was going to mention that actually, so thank you for reminding me to do that at the end of this meeting. Cool. Thank you so much, Julie. I mean, I've said it multiple times before, but we love having you at these meetings. Same with you, Marilyn. Thanks for joining and helping out as well.